Welcome to Poetry Changes Lives, poetry and history in a thought-flavoured day. Well, on this day, in 1381, King Richard II of England met the leaders of the Peasants Revolt outside London. It was a really existential moment. The Peasants Revolt was a huge uprising in the 14th century against high taxation, and King Richard II, at the time that he faced these peasants, was only 14 years old. Can you imagine? He rode out of London bravely with the Lord Mayor and a few advisors, and met Wat Tyler, the leader of the peasants who had the day before burnt down several great palaces in the city of London and caused rioting and chaos. Well, Richard may have beaten the peasants at the age of 14, but later on he was unable to fight off the challenge of the usurper to the throne, Henry Bolingbroke, son of the great John of Gaunt, who successfully challenged him and in a series of battles defeated him and imprisoned him in Pontefract Castle, where poor Richard died at the age of 33, probably, we think, from starvation. It was a sad end for a young king whose reign had begun so well, and Richard was a legitimately crowned and acknowledged king for some years, and Shakespeare describes it also beautifully in his play King Richard II, and he has some really beautiful lines. You know, a lesser playwright would have had Richard in his hour of defeat saying, well, you know, I am here by right and you can't take that away from me. But Shakespeare gives these lines to Richard. Not all the water in the rough, rude sea can wash the balm away from an anointed king. Such beautiful words to describe the right of the divine right of a king to rule. Well, today I'm going to read a poem about another prisoner. It's from Lord Byron's famous poem, The Prisoner of Chillon. This mysterious prisoner who was locked up in the castle of Chillon. It's apparently a religious persecution. This man's whole family were persecuted, and his father was burnt at the stake, and 5 of his brothers were also killed for their religious beliefs, leaving this poor man locked up for many, many years in the castle of Chillon. Here are these lines. They're pretty unforgettable, I think. My hair is grey, but not with years, nor grew it white in a single night. As men's have grown from sudden fears, my limbs are bowed, though not with toil, but rusted with a vile repose. For they have been a dungeon's spoil, and mine has been the fate of those to whom the goodly earth and air are banned and barred, forbidden fare. But this was for my father's faith. I suffered chains and courted death. That father perished at the stake for tenets he would not forsake, and for the same his lineal race in darkness found a dwelling place. We were 7 who now are 1. Gosh, that's a grim, grim poem, but a very fine one, I think. Today I will remember that I have the ability to do anything I set my mind to. The only thing that will stop it will be myself. Thank you for listening.